How's it going, everyone? Nice to see you all again. I'm King Blacktooth, and I'm going to analyse some more Gwent cards that came out of Gamescom 2016. So we knew about a few of these cards, but they're very small images. I may have shown some in video number 3 that I did, but now they've released some more on Gwent database. Really nice pictures, so I can talk a bit more in depth about those particular cards as we go through them. So sit back and relax. How's it going, guys? I'm down here now. So let's start with Vrihedd. We did show him a little bit in analytical video number 3, but he's been published properly. So he's a 4 strength neutral character card. You can be placed on melee or range, which is decent, and has the Death Wish vampire form. So when he's removed from the battlefield, he'll transform into a vampire bat, which it says 8 strength here, but in the video it was 10 strength. It says it's also melee, but this just goes to show you that they are still tweaking the numbers. Nothing's set in stone yet, so roughly 8 to 10 strength whenever he's removed from the battlefield. So a lot of people think this might be a power creep on the prize winning cow, because that was a 0 strength, and when removed brings out a 10 strength fiend, and this is 4 strength and brings out an 8 or 10 strength bat. But the thing about this is a single time use. He himself transforms into the bat, whereas the cow spawns the fiend. So you can place a cow down and then decoy him up and he'll spawn a fiend. Place the cow down, decoy him up, and he'll spawn another fiend. So you can keep using the cow, but this guy, if you decoy him up, he transforms into the bat, so you don't have Vrihedd anymore. You only have his vampire form. So one-time use, and a little bit better in strength maybe, so that's a little choice. The prize-winning cow also defends against epidemic, where this guy probably won't, so he's decent. Depends on how you want to shift around the strength in particular rounds. Do you want a bit on turn 1 and a bit more in turn 2, or do you want it all in turn 2, etc. Decent, nice nice variance there, and we'll see how good he is later. So here we've got the Dolblotharna Trapper. I have to be careful not to say Dolblotharna. 3 strength square tile only troop card, and it goes on the siege row this time, and it has the same graveyard mustering effect that other types had for square tile. So when you place this card, it will put all of the ones with the same name from either your deck, hand, or graveyard. So these can be reused over separate rounds, which is pretty good, and really is identical to the Blue Stripes Commando and the Dolblotharna Marksman. The Blue Stripes is on melee, the Marksman is on ranged, and this guy's on siege. So very similar. You're not going to put all of these in your deck, I don't think, because you risk getting duplicates then. But it gives you a lot of options. So if your deck is solely focused around siege and you've got a lot of encourage and stuff, you're going to take these ones more over, because then they can benefit from the encourage, benefit from Commander's Horns, rather than spreading yourself too thin. So it's just kind of choice, variety. You get to choose which kind of type you want, really, which is always good. So next we've got the Field Medic. This is a 0 strength Northern Realms troop card, so you can have 3 of these, so 3 medics for Northern Realms. I think that brings them up to about 5. Shani and is it Naneki? I can't remember if that's her name. Siege card, and when played, you can pull 1 card out of your graveyard and play it instantly. So Northern Realms now has 5 medics, and 6 if you count the Bloody Baron hero neutral card, but probably won't. So that's reasonable. Doesn't do anything special, but it is, you know, pretty basic. It would work well with some encourages to go on the siege row. So if you've got a siege Northern Realms deck, I think Northern Realms mostly are melee and siege at the moment, so this will work really well for that. The next one is Vrihedd Officer. I've spoken about this card quite a lot in previous videos recently, because it is such a powerful card. It's a 4 strength square tile only troop card, and it has agile, so it can be placed on melee, ranged, or siege. So a lot of choice, a lot of flexibility there, which is good, especially for this ability. And its ability is Decoy. When played, replace a loyal unit card of your choice on your side of the board and return it to your hand, and place this card in its stead. And you can't place this card and replace a card which already has swap. So you can't get 2 of these and just swap forever. And if the opponent plays a spy, it's loyal to you. It's disloyal to them, but it's loyal to you. So you can pick up enemy spies played against you with this card. So that's really decent. So what makes this card so good is that it's basically just a decoy with 4 strength. And decoys are really, really good in this game, because they give you card advantage. because you place this card down and pick another card up, so you've got the same amount of cards in your hand that you had when you started the round. And then it's the opponent's turn. They've got to place a card down or pass, and then it's your turn. So if you can stall again, you have the same amount of cards in your hand that you did before. You know, so you're basically keeping card advantage while your opponent is playing cards, and that's a really powerful tactic. Not only that, decoys obviously pick up a card, they replace a card, so you can start picking up cards with abilities and then reusing those abilities. So you could pick up a medic and then reuse that medic. You could pick up one of these Varner trappers and on the next round place it down again, and it would muster all the guys from the graveyard because that's an ability. So these guys are really good for reusing abilities, stalling the game, and Squirtle is starting to look like one of the most powerful decks because of this card and a couple of others. Really powerful and just a very, very decent card. I think any Squirtle deck will want this card in their deck. So not only that, you've got the Squirtle leader card, Anya, who has had no use whatsoever up until this point, but the Vrihedd officer gives her a use. When you use her, she transforms all loyal cards with the swap ability into Varner archers. Now these are 8 strength, that's it, it's just 8 strength archers, but 8 strength is pretty good, and now we actually have a card which will get transformed into that. And you can have 3 of these in your deck, so you could possibly get 3 cards transforming into 8 strength, which is really quite a big deal, especially since you're stalling with these and then suddenly they're 8 strength each. Not only that, if you read specifically, all loyal cards, and this isn't Gwent database saying this, this is actually from in-game. I have footage in-game that says it's all loyal cards, because the decoy is a loyal card, loyalty, loyal, and it has the swap ability. So in theory, you could place 3 of these, stall the game by 3 turns, use decoy on 3 other types of creatures. You wouldn't be able to use decoy on these, and stall the game for another 3 turns, and then use the leader ability and turn all 6 of those cards into 8 strength minions. Very, very strong. Obviously, if you're going for that tactic, put down a 9 or 10 or 12 strength minion just beforehand to protect them all, but damn, that's a strong ability. And they wouldn't be able to scorch you with a row specifically, like Geralt Igni, because all of these can be placed on any row, so you could shift them all over the place, so it's really hard to scorch them. Such a powerful card, man. Really, really good. So next we've got the Heroics card, which is a Northern Realm specific special card, and I think it's the equivalent to White Frost, Skellige Storm, Nature's Gift, faction specific special cards, and this is Northern Realms one. It's got the promotion ability, promotes a chosen unit and all cards with the same name into a hero, which can no longer be affected by anything else. Any buffs or nerfs can't be affected. Now we know promotion works if you buff something and then promote it. It will keep the same strength it was on. So that's really, really good. So this card works really well for Northern Realms because they've got cards like the Blue Stripes Commando, which is a muster bond, and bond doubles the strength of any cards with the same name. So because this Heroics card, you choose one card and any of the cards with the same name get promoted to hero. Basically you select Blue Stripes Commando and they all get promoted to hero. Blue Stripes Commandos can easily get to about, is it 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, about 64 strength pretty easily, which is decent. Probably might be able to get a bit higher than that as well. So if you can promote those, it's really, really powerful. The thing about promotion is though, obviously you have to buff them beforehand most of the time, so the opponent gets a chance to weather them or scorch them or stuff like that. So regarding the bond ability, like the Temerian Foot Soldier here, we know that if you've got one heroic version and a non-heroic version side by side, the heroic one won't get buffed anymore, but it still counts towards the bond for the non-heroic ones. So any more that you put down afterwards will still count the heroic one, even though he himself won't get buffed. So what you could do is place down 2 of these guys, so they're about 8 strength. Might not be a big enough target for your opponent to scorch. They might be waiting for you to use Foltest to bring another one on the board, and that's quite a big deal if they manage to scorch after you've used Foltest. So you've got 2 of them on the board, just promote them. So you've got 2 8 strength Temerian Foot Soldiers. So they're not going to go any higher, but they are going to count to any more you put down. And this works just as well for Blue Stripes Commandos or stun banner light cavalry. So you put a third one down, that's going to go to 16 straight away because it's going to use the 2 hero ones. The 2 hero ones are not going to change. Then you use Foltest to bring a 4th one out, and so you'll have a 32, 8 strength hero 1, 8 strength hero 1, and another 32. Because I think generally this particular card, you don't need 128 strength in order to win a round. So by like protecting half of them, you've got permanent bond on the board, and that's really good because if they do scorch the 2 32s, they're a lot easier to get back up to that kind of strength. You need 2 medics, and then suddenly you're back at where you were. So I really like the idea of the promotion to just promote half of your bonds, because I think it's going to be very hard to get all 4 on the board and then promote them. Because if you manage to get all 4 on the board without your opponent doing anything to stop them, you don't really need to promote them because they really clearly have nothing to stop you, unless they clearly wait until you pass, and then maybe. But for the most part, if they don't manage to stop you as you're doing it in fear of heroics, then they probably haven't got anything to stop you with anyway. So I really like the strategy of protecting some bonds on the board so that future ones you put down are easily high strength, and that could win you a game easily. So if they're hero cards and then they get put into the graveyard some like round over, you can no longer medic them out anymore. So you have to be very careful with that. It's a one-time use card. This round is the round that you need to use them all on, because you won't be able to pull them out next turn. So next we've got the Craite Raider. Just an 8 strength melee card for Skellige only. It's a troop card, so you can have 3. It reminds me of what Craite's leader card used to do, which is spawn 2 Craite clansmen, 8 strength. But it's just a troop card now, which is, you know, disappointing a bit. They don't have any special ability. I don't think Skellige is looking like a prime target for the Alchemist, so I don't think these are going to fit into a Skellige Alchemist deck at the moment. But they do look like they're going to play the role of protecting certain things. 8 strength is pretty good. You've got some cards which kind of match that, like Madman Lugos and stuff. But 8 strength will protect against a lot of things. It will protect First Scorch, which is good. And 3 of them, and 8 strength is pretty good. It's like, if you double it to 16, that's pretty good. They will benefit from Harold the Cripple when they go into the graveyard, and then you can pull them back out if you don't get a Craite Warrior. So, reasonable. I like it. I'm not saying it's a bad card. It's just, you know, hard to evaluate really, but it's good. I like it. So the final card is Schirru, which is a 4 strength, Scoia'tael only character card. Goes on the melee row. He is loyal as well, so you can decoy him if you want. And he's got a unique Scorch ability. The icon is the same as other ones, so they really need to differentiate those a bit more. But it's called Ignite. When played, it removes the strongest non-hero unit cards from your side of the board, the person who played it, and the opponent's side of the board. So it scorches both sides of the boards simultaneously, but independently. So it's a bit situational. I'm not saying it's good. I think the dragons are just clearly better, but there is a use for it. You can scorch the opponent's side of the board if you yourself have the highest strength cards on the board. So if they've got 10, 15 strength minions, but you've got 1 20 strength minion, normally a scorch wouldn't cut it. And the dragons are situational, as in if they're not on the right row, your dragons are useless. The exception might be Villain Trettenmurph. We're not quite sure on whether he scorches only the opponent's side or the entire board. If it's only the opponent's side, Villain Trettenmurph is a lot better in my opinion, but he's a hero slot. And he takes a requirement of 30. This guy can be used whenever, but you have to sacrifice a minion of your own, providing you've got a minion. If you haven't got a minion on your side of the board, he'll probably scorch himself. I've seen that happen in The Witcher 3. But yeah, so you could sacrifice your 20 strength minion to get rid of all their 15 strength minions. So you can reach the opponent's side of the board with a Scorch, even if you've got the highest strength on the board. So it's an interesting card. I think a lot of people won't take it just because of the whole sacrificing thing. I don't think Scoia'tael have a card which you don't mind sacrificing. If he was for Skellige, you could probably try and sacrifice a Craite Warrior, and if you had a medic in your hand to bring him back out, so that will be fine. But I don't think Scoia'tael at the moment have a card they want to sacrifice that benefits them by putting it in the graveyard and bringing it back out. Thanks for watching, everyone. That is the end of this analytical video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the cards, and take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you soon.